everyone, and now we have fun. And it is called Peek-A-Bliss.
Hi, my name is Veena. Our initiative Peek-A-Bliss aims at promoting the habit of book reading in children. We love to read books in different languages: English, Hindi, Spanish and
French.
we are going to read a story from Russia. It's called The Dreadful Guest. Let's begin. This is the story of a dragon called Tugarin, who lived 1000 years ago in Russia. At that time, Vladimir I was prince of the old city of Kiev. One day, Vladimir decided to hold a great feast. He invited princes and noblemen, rich merchants, and some of the bravest warriors and knights in the land. On the night of the feast, Prince Vladimir and his guests sat together at a long table in the hall of feasting. The room was filled with the sound of talk and laughter. Ha 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 ha! Suddenly, a huge, horrible creature burst into the hall. It was Tugarin, the dragon. He was twice as tall as a man, with teeth like spikes and claws like knives. When he opened his mouth, flames shot forth and black smoke curled up out of his nostrils. Tugarin walked to the table and pushed himself between Prince Vladimir and his wife, Princess Apraksha. No one said a word. Everyone was too frightened. Everyone, that is, except the hero, Alyosha Popovich. He glared angrily at the monster and in a loud voice asked, "What kind of ill-mannered creature are you?" Before Tugarin could reply, servants entered the room carrying a huge roast swan on a platter. They set the platter down in front of Prince Vladimir. But as the prince was about to begin carving the bird, Tugarin snatched it up and swallowed it whole. "You could have more manners than a pig," exclaimed Alyosha Popovich. "I hope you choke to death on the bones." Tugarin scowled, making all the guests shudder in fear. But Alyosha Popovich simply laughed. Next, servants brought in a large flagon of wine. They placed the wine in front of Princess Apraksya. But Tugarin seized the flagon and in an instant drank every drop. "What a glutton!" yelled Alyosha Popovich. "My father once had a cow who was like you." One day she broke into the cellar and drank so much wine she swelled up and burst. "I hope that happens to you, Tugarin, dragon." This was too much for the dragon. He sprang to his feet. "Will you come outside and fight me, Alyosha Popovich?" he roared. "Of course," said the hero with a cheerful smile. Tugarin stormed out of the room. Alyosha Popovich got up to follow him. "Oh, Alyosha," said Princess Apraksya, "why did you challenge him? You could have put up with him until he left. Now you will be killed." The princes, nobles, and rich merchants agreed that Alyosha Popovich had no chance at all against the dragon. They began to make bets amongst themselves as to how long it would take Tugarin to finish off the hero. Alyosha walked out into the palace courtyard where the dragon awaited him. He strolled forward until he was standing right in front of Tugarin, but he didn't draw his sword. "Well, Alyosha Popovich, how would you like to die?" asked Tugarin with a dreadful smile. "Shall I chew you to bits with my spiked teeth?" Shall I slice you to pieces with my knife claws? Shall I roast you to a cinder with my fiery breath? But Alyosha put his hands on his hips and scowled. Now, see here, Tugarin Dragon, he said angrily. This was to be a fight between just the two of us. You pointed behind the dragon. He pointed behind the dragon. Why have you brought an army here to help you fight? Dragons are not very clever, but heroes are. Tugarin turned his head to see what Alyosha Popovich was pointing at. Quick as a finger snap, Alyosha drew his sword and cut off the monster's head. Then he put away his sword and strolled back to the feast hall. The fight is over, he announced. We won't have to put up with Tugarin's terrible table manners ever again. And as everyone stood up to cheer, Alyosha Popovich sat down to eat. Story complete. Adios.